No. Okay. We're not on Facebook today. I exceeded the time.
Flip man, it's the flip man. You want some money in your hand? Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Get that bag.
Junior, turn that off. Push it up. Good afternoon and welcome to July 13th. No, let's just go date. July 18th, 13th. It is Wednesday, so you know what that means. We have Miss Kelly Mead here to share some of this great knowledge. Still solo here. The rest of the crew will be back intact starting tomorrow evening, I guess. And so, we're here to talk about real estate investing with a strong emphasis on wholesaling real estate with no cash or credit, low risk, high reward opportunity. Today's topic is you deposited $27,000 from wholesaling a deal and your bank is suspicious. So I got that from somebody asked a question yesterday, so we got a solution for that or whatever. But that's one of those, in the famous words of Marlo Stanfield, that's one of those good problems. If you don't know who Marlo Stanfield is, Google it. All right, so again, I'm going to be doing all the question asking and the tech stuff. So this might not go as well as
It's gonna go great. It's gonna go
hey,
great.
what they used to say in church? Do the best you can, baby.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
Take it for love.
if if you if you want a job, join the live. Text the word Gator to the number. I got it over here somewhere. Here it is. Text the word Gator to the number. We'll get you on the live stream. That allows you to have your own personal one-on-one coaching session with us today. So text the word Gator to the number to achieve that. While we're letting people load in here, we're not on Instagram, not on Facebook today either. I exceeded the time that would allow us to do that. All right, so a couple more things before we get going. The times we're normally on around 2:45-ish. 3:45-ish Eastern time. Check local listings, and even though that says 7:05, it should be 8:05 on Thursdays ish Eastern. So check local listings, match it up with your location and time zone. All right. Just a couple of promos here. Get in the game for $100. Partner with me for only $100 with this particular tool. If you text MLS to the number, this video will change the way you view things and should inspire you that no matter where you are, you can start basically a virtual wholesaling and we'll fill in the holes. But this is a great video to get you going. The other thing is, if you're going to be in business, guess what you need to do? You need to act like you're in business. So setting up your business the correct way, starting with an LLC, also an opportunity for business credit. And whenever you sign up for your LLC, that automatically puts you in a situation where you can start taking or tracking potential tax deductions. And you'll have access to over 250 of those just from setting up your LLC with the service that I'm recommending here to do it. And they're not going to charge you anything to set it up. You only have to just pay the cost of the fees that are associated with setting it up in your state, county, and city or whatever market you're targeting. All right. So text the word there. So make sure you also subscribe to the channel, share, like, follow. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. On any platform, share, like, and then on YouTube, follow. I'm sorry, on TikTok, Instagram, or Twitter, follow. All right. One dropped on the floor that's very important. This particular video was suggested by one of our live streamers, Greg, a few weeks back, to put some of my videos in order to help you along your way. So this is a free option to learn what you need to know in this particular playlist. So text VIP. VIP is one word, basically. It's FIP. I guess that's where you pronounce it. Fight. I don't know. But anyway, text VIP to the number and boom. So let's get it.
Could you announce the topic one more time?
Oh, the topic is today is you deposited $27,000 in your bank account from a wholesale deal and the bank is suspicious. What do you do? But that's a good problem. If the money is legit, obviously. So that's good. You're going to walk up there with cash in most cases, but you get the point. It could be a check, definitely cash. They're going to raise the eyebrows, and a bank wire. If that's not how your account normally works, they're going to be tripping or whatever. And it's your money, and it's legal, but they just have to go through their jump through their hoops or whatever. So you got a question up there on TikTok?
No, she just want to know what the topic.
Okay, that's cool. All right, I got some here on YouTube. So,
Cool.
all right. I went on the commercial deal and want to know if you got a retail bill in North Carolina. Yeah, okay. Krishna, we got Samuel is going to come back in the live from yesterday, but I'm going to put him on in a second. She said, I sent over a commercial deal and want to know if you got it. Not sure, but I'll check. Retail bill in North Carolina, and tenants just closed their business. Is in a great area and the price is flexible. So you'll need to probably text me on it so we can get it over to the proper channel so we can check and see how did you send it. So we would love to follow up on you and see what's up on it, but I don't recall seeing that. I don't know if Kelly has seen it, but
I don't recall either.
Okay, so let me see here. How to get started? Completed. This is torture. All right, so let's do this one here. All right, so Tarnisha said I had signed up for the PropStream trial and waited for a call for 2 days in a row. No one has called. Where do I start? Thank you. All right, Tarnisha, I actually looked at yours today because I have to check those in the morning to see who's actually signed up through Dealator. And I sent it up the ladder to support with PropStream, and they don't show you signed up under me. So I could check it again, but as of yesterday, it didn't show you signed up under my affiliate link. So, but I'll send me a text reminder and I'll look at it again. I'll send it up the ladder again. So let's add my man Samuel. He was here yesterday with the great microphone that I was hoping I had, that type of closure to create a studio vibe. But we're doing the best we can, as we say.
That's all good, Flip man. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you perfectly.
All right, great. How's everyone doing today?
Great. How are you?
Good. Doing good. So, Flip man, I appreciate you sending me the email for me to send out on deals that I find through Privy. My question is there a specific way you want me to send that email? Like what type of information? Because I know Privy already has it where when you share it, it has everything dealing with the comps and all that good stuff for y'all to deal whether it's a good deal or not. Is there anything extra you want me to send with that?
No, that's cool. Just doing that is fine. Just doing that is fine.
All right, then that's all. Let's get it.
Let's get it, my man. All right, appreciate it.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Someone says, Big Wheel B says, hey, Philip, man. Hey, Kelly. Hello, Big Wheel.
Hey, Big Wheel.
What is the average year for a house? All right, so here's one, Kelly. All right, so thanks, Philip, man, for all you do. I know this is from Larry Ruffin. I know that all states vary, but what is the average year for houses that cash buyers do not want to go beyond? example 1960. That's going to be market specific.
It will be market specific. So in most markets, yes, the 1950s, 1960s. But if you get into some of the older, like some where houses were older, like St. Louis market, like it's very common to have a house that was built in the 1900s. And so like either buyers, if they're national buyers, they're either just choose not to buy in that market. But if they're local investors, like they already understand, that it's going to be an older house, and they make the proper adjustments or adjustments in the renovation budget to account for that. So, but it is market specific. If you want to, I know a lot of people will probably think like hedge funds, or like these big institutional buyers. A lot of them have like a 1950s and 1960s like kind of minimum what they will buy. But yeah, when you're dealing with individual buyers and seasoned investors, it really depends on the area. So I guess I don't hope that answered your question, but you will probably see more of a bigger pool of investors if you stick to the 1950s, 1960s and above.
Okay. I'm just sending the little text message out. Let me make sure you made how do you handle this? All right, boom. All right, so what we got here? Thank you for participating, Larry. So where do you download the secret system? Well, you see flipman.net behind me. All right, you can go there and do that. But in reality, all you have to do, what's the name? HD TV. Just text VIP, and that'll get you going for free. All right. How can I start wholesaling? So I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but we'll go with Chris, the last name. First name, last name, Chris. How can I get started wholesaling? Go, Kelly. Your boy break.
You're in the right place. This is how you get started. You get on these calls and you ask questions and you go through. What's my guy's name? I haven't seen him in a few weeks. Now, Flipman has put together the list
Greg,
of videos. Greg, yeah, he requested that. So now you have a list of videos that you can go through and get started from A to Z. And I actually sent that to someone that I asked me, was a family member. I was like, I will answer any questions that you have after you watch all of these videos. Because you shouldn't have, you should have questions, but the basics and the fundamentals are definitely covered in those videos. So I would suggest go and watch those videos. And I don't know if you have like a text for that or a link for that or what you have, but
yeah.
Oh, there you go. VIP list. Yep, that's it.
Yeah, just
okay.
text VIP.
That's how you get started.
All right.
Get educated.
Grab that mic. Oh, you ain't got nothing? Oh. All right. Okay, so I want to see you making some videos on how you can make videos by step by step. Okay, well, basically, Chris, we just answered that. So I think he answered that question. I have it. All right, here's a good one. Mr. Flipman. Most, I guess they're asking, can it? Let me see. Must it be an LLC? I have a sole propriety can work. Well, I can't really answer that question. Set up a consultation with my guys, and they'll break down the benefits of those different business entities and what they'll probably recommend you do. So text BIZ to the number. That'll give you an opportunity to set up a consultation with them, and they'll answer that for you. Okay. So you'll get that answer there. Just set up the consultation. Not going to cost you anything to talk to them. All right. So this is sort of he sort of just going. I'm keep putting this stuff and saying we've already answered. All right. Rosemary says, "Can wholesale?" I guess she mean a lot, or it says plot, but I'm assuming she means a lot. Yes, how does that work? So I guess you're talking about a vacant lot.
Yeah, you can definitely wholesale a plot or lot. So how it works is it really depends on how big and what the need for. It's just kind of like selling houses. You got to understand, like for lots, depending on where it is, it's going to usually be a builder, whether it is a home builder or a commercial builder that builds homes, or a commercial builder that builds like commercial residential or commercial industrial. Or it could be used for agricultural, so like growing crops. So you really have to understand what it's zoned for. But before you get into all of the zoning and all of that great stuff, it's really about doing just a really quick desktop research of how many lots have been sold, like lots of land have been sold in that area. You can go to Zillow and do a search for that when you filter out just land and lots. And then see what kind of new construction or who else is buying in that area, what type of lots are being sold in that area. And then you can always ask the seller a lot of questions about what they've seen, because a lot of them, if they're wanting to sell it, they have some kind of reason to want to sell it. But the biggest thing is, yes, you can sell a lot, do a little bit of research, like go to Zillow, just do a quick research, filter out, see what other lots have been sold close to the lot that you're looking at, and then determine what type of buyer would buy this. Would it be a home builder? Would it be a commercial builder? Would it be a farmer or a sharecropper? And once you determine that, you can have that conversation with the seller to determine what you can wholesale it at, or what price you can price it at. And then you will link up with someone. If you've never done it before, I would suggest just linking up with someone that has done it in that area. I know that Ty has a text message number. You can call a couple people in your area. You can go on a Facebook message, talk to a couple people in the We Buy Land chat groups. Like there's a lot of resources of people that you can just ask questions if it's specific to that area, that can also help you. But the first step is, I would say, is doing a initial desktop search. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Ty, you have a video of how to look up land and see um, like what the pricing would be and what's been sold.
Yeah, I have a couple of those recent videos that does that. Yes, I do. All right. Real quick, HDTV, she had asked a question, say she got a job at Walmart. I'm ready to get the bags, and I have so many ideas. Okay, good. I'm assuming she was referring she's going to have some income to put back into her business and also pay her bills, of course. All right, so congratulations on your job, regardless of what you're going to do with it. So congratulations. Some money is better than no money. What's half of zero? All right, so I am underscore my call. I'm headed to a meeting with the cash buyer on a property that has tenants. I guess they mean a seller. Is that what they mean?
No, they probably could mean it's a cash buyer.
Okay. All right. What questions should be prepared to ask or answer, or I guess or how should the conversation go?
So I'm assuming that you're going to the property maybe with the seller. That's going to be you, and the cash buyer are going to meet the seller there. I hope that if you put that in the chat, if that's what we are understanding, that's at least how I interpret it. So if you're going to a property to meet with a cash buyer to meet the seller that has tenants, you just basically just want to have a conversation. You want to ask what have they repaired in the last 2 years? What would they repair right now if they were not going to sell? What would they repair right now in order to add value to the property? And then you would want to go through and actually look at all the repairs that they actually would suggest that they would do if they wanted to repair it, and also look at the work that was done. If they did say that they had made repairs to the property in the last 2 years, just put your eye on it to see what type of job was done with it. And ask, if you are allowed to. Sometimes the seller doesn't want you talking to the tenants. But if you are allowed to, you can ask the tenants, how do you like living here? Do you plan on staying here for, like, what are your plans? Just to see if you would need to, like, you know, what your vacancy rate would end up being. But if the cash buyer is going along with you, they will probably ask most of the questions. So I would say if they sound more prepared, allow them to drive it and listen and learn from that experience, because they are going to ask all the questions that they want to know in order to make a decision if they want to purchase the property.
Okay. All right. Just to put a couple of this responses up here. Crazy Joe said, I just came from watching the VIP vids. That's what's up.
Crazy J. You're messing up. Crazy J. And the other one was High D TV, not HDT. I just want to give everybody their proper
hey, I have terrible attention to details. So thank you very much, because I will jack it up. Okay, go ahead. You got a TikTok. Go ahead.
Yeah, from TikTok, the Dave Anthony says, do you like adverse possession deals?
Someone on TikTok said, do I like adverse possession deals? I know what it is, sort of. That's about it, though. Your opinion on it?
I don't know what an adverse possession deal is. Can you, or possession or position?
Possession.
So basically, they're behind on payments.
It can be
underwater in equity.
Adverse. Let me spell that. Adverse possession.
It sounds like they're either underwater or behind on payments or something.
Define real estate. Okay. Under a legal concept known as adverse possession, a person can trespass for so long he or she gains right of ownership or pass through. Time period required for occupation 20. I don't know. This is for real estate, so it was starting to say about other things. So I think it's more state.
Yeah. That it sounds like more. I wonder if they're like California. That sounds like more of a yeah. No.
Yeah. So I've heard of it for sure. I just might be some brilliant stuff that we're ignoring. Might need it. You know what I'm saying? Anything else up there on TikTok?
That's all.
All right, cool. All right. So we got one here already on the screen. That's Bucci.
There you go.
Am I right?
That's what I would say. Yeah.
Oh, he said bougie.
Boosie, like Gucci, but Bucci.
Bucci.
That's how I'm reading it.
That's how I'm reading it.
Gucci.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Bucci.
Okay. All right. So I got one. I'm one.
You did. There you go.
1 out of 4. All right. Can I sign a contract to a buyer who wants to own or finance? Let's start with that part first.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, right now is the market for that. You want to find those deals all the time if you can. Yes.
All right. What about a buyer who wants to rent to own?
Awesome. That's the time for that too. Gucci, you Gucci.
All right. I'm not sure if these are the same or what. Well, they're sort of the same. One of them is an investor. One of them wants to live in it. Well, it still could be an investor want to live in it, but they're in the same realm, but just a little different process on how you go. Because one of them, you're going to basically be out of the deal because you're going to assign the terms over that you've negotiated with the owner on the owner finance deal. You're going to be out of the deal. And then the one that wants to rent to own, I'm assuming, well, you can set that up too and assign that too. But the one that you're talking about with the rent to own, normally you're going to stay in that deal or whatever. But again, you can set up those terms and assign your way out of that too, even if they want to live in it. So it can work both ways or whatever. So.
Yeah, and I just to kind of clear up some of the terminology that's used, and I because I feel like I already knew what you were saying. So when you're technically owner finance, Bucci, is when the person who is buying it is going to owner finance with the seller. It's technically do you want to assign a seller finance or a seller carry contract is really the terminology you want to use. And then the rent to own is technically owner finance. So basically that's how you dispose or disposition the contract is. You can do it through owner finance or a rent to own. Rent to own means that you pay rent payments, pay a deposit up front with an understanding that in set amount of years that you will buy the property from the owner. Or if you're doing an owner finance, the difference between rent is you're actually you don't have a mortgage with an institution. You are carrying, the seller is carrying the note. So you're owner financing directly from the seller. And usually those happen through land contracts. So you actually will have your name on the deed as long as you're living and until the note is completely paid out. Rent to own is totally different. You're renting, you don't own the property. You're renting with the first right of refusal to buy the property at a set amount of after 3 years or 5 years.
All right. So in a nutshell, the owner acts as the bank. So you don't have to have traditional lenders involved, your credit involved, your credit probably won't matter. Sometimes may need a down payment, sometimes you won't. It's all negotiable. So the owner acts as the bank and you pay them directly. So that creates some opportunities. Some of the people that you can target for that are tired potential, well, just landlords, period. They don't even have to be a tired landlord. They may still want the cash flow, but don't want the duties of a landlord, and owner financing gives them a vehicle or an option to still receive some cash flow on the property, but they don't have to manage it anymore. They just, as long as their money comes, they call that mailbox money or whatever. So.
Correct. Can I add one more thing? How you get paid as a wholesaler from that particular deal is if you are able to structure that so you're able to get the seller to agree to carry a note, and you go find a rent to own or a owner finance buyer, then what you do is the buyer will pay what they call an entry fee. So a part of that deposit that they pay goes towards you. So if the seller requires 5,000 down, you can actually say, well, it's 15,000 to get in this property. You give 5 to the seller and you keep 10 for yourself for putting the deal together.
Sorry, TikTok, I didn't have my mic up here.
Oh gosh, I'm just kidding.
Almost 30 minutes.
Jess and Oksana is watching this because they probably feel, I hope you girls feel better, but I hope they're watching this. He is sinking, ladies. He needs you. I was just kidding.
I'm under the boat.
You like, yeah. I'm stand above water now.
They didn't know. I'm related to Aquaman. That's what's up. But anyway, so just a real quick, Clark Sports, can you help me get a wholesale deal in Chicago? Yes, sir. Yeah. You just need to start marketing your butt off. But anyone that does want to partner with us, text 5050 to the number. That's for houses. Also, where is it? Units. Man, here we go. This is for apartments and self-storage. So text the word units for an explanation on that. All right, boom. And then, of course, the other is the MLS thing. So just text MLS on here. This helps you do the virtual thing for only $100, right? Gets you right in the game. All right, so now you won't be paying me, even though I make some money off of it, but it's for the service, the tool itself. And in that video, the tool is going to explain how to use the tool. So, all right, so what else we got? Pisces illustrations. Did I say that right?
Pisces in illustration. Okay.
I agree. Leave it like everyone.
Yeah.
I agree. All right. Okay. All right. This is more of a statement. Hey, everyone. I don't get my notification for the live until a minute and a half. So I missed the opening. Sometimes the questions, does anyone know why and how to fix that? Now, if you're talking about the notification from YouTube, that's one thing. You tap, number one, you subscribe. And then once you subscribe, you tap the little bell and select all to receive all notifications. So it's just not selected. So you should receive everything. I suggest everyone do that. Now, if you're on the text message list because you text the number, such as VIP to the number, sometimes we don't send it out immediately. It may be delayed. Like today, I probably sent it out when we were 5 or 10 minutes in because I'm trying to do the technical, read the questions, all that. You know what I'm saying? So don't kill me. Will you ever forgive me? All right, so here we go right here. ESB, what answered before. So that's ESB Quincy. I'm 19 years old and I want to start wholesaling. Could you give me some advice on how to start? Well, you've already started if you're here. Welcome aboard. I'm not sure how you found me. Even being, well, Kelly, you were really young when you got involved in this. What you was in 09, you were what, 20, 21, something like that. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got my numbers wrong. But anyway, so if you're 19 years old, you're way ahead of the curve. At 19, yes. I was thinking about two things. One of them I won't mention, and basketball. I think I had to let my basketball dreams go by then. So really, I was only thinking about one thing. So if you're even thinking about this, I didn't even know what entrepreneurship was. Somebody would ask me, define entrepreneurship. I probably couldn't have answered that question at 19 years old. Just wasn't in my, just wasn't on my radar or whatever. Now I was only a couple of years from it as far as being exposed to some stuff or whatever, but you're way ahead of the game. So I'm gonna applaud you on that. Now, at 19, you are old enough to sign a contract, so you don't have to partner with anyone that may be younger than you. They can still do it, but they would have to partner with someone that can sign a contract, like a parent, brother, sister, cousin, or a relative, whatever, somebody. But you don't have to worry about that. I'm pretty sure 19 allows you to sign a contract in all 50 states. I would be shocked if it doesn't. So now all you have to do is educate yourself. Something is going to happen that's extraordinary. Once you educate yourself, you're going to know what to do. And so I got you. You start right here. VIP is a good start. These set of videos are going to get you understand the process, the mindset, the marketing, the contract, how to find deals, all of that in that playlist. So at that point, now you say, well, what I do once I do educate myself? Well, so if you're still not sure, some people are not. And I know probably the biggest reason a lot of people don't ever do anything because they think it has to be perfect in order for them to make money. They don't want to make any mistakes. We don't want to make any mistakes, but you can just let that go. Mistakes are going to happen. I don't care how trained you are. But with those mistakes comes experience. The experience of making those mistakes are going to be more valuable probably than anything that I can teach you because it's actually on-the-job training, right? Okay, and so just understand this. This business simply boils down to one major thing. How many people are you talking to on a daily basis that own real estate? Some of them are going to want to sell. Some of them are going to want to sell cheap enough, aka motivated sellers, that are going to make sense for you to do a deal and make some money. So it's all a numbers game. So you have to choose what marketing or advertising or networking techniques you're going to use based on your time, your resources to generate daily leads from people that own real estate. Now we're talking about houses mainly here, but that's just the tip of the iceberg on the endless opportunities that real estate in general can provide. Your thoughts, Ms. Mead?
The biggest thing when I was just a spring chicken in 2009, like spring, I was about your age or younger.
She was a lot younger. Oh, no. Let me say, which one you want to be?
I'm talking about ESB's age or younger.
Okay, I was saying. So which one you want to be? You was 10? You was 10.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Is never stop. I will say, like, even though I tell people, like, I first got started in 2009, like, I bought a rental property in 2010. I bought a flip property in 2011, and guess what? I stopped. Like, I wasn't doing anything. I didn't start picking back up until 2017. I wish, and then even then, it'll be here and there. I would say never stop. Keep scaling, keep going, even if it's getting hard and you're hitting a brick wall. Like, I promise you, once you hit the brick wall, when you chisel away enough, you'll start to see the light. And so don't stop, because if you don't stop, by the time that you're 25, you will be a millionaire or sooner. Like, if you don't stop, especially in this market, like, we are by definition are in a recession, because we're about to have our second month where the Dow or the points are in a negative, and where the market is under. So by definition, we are in a recession. That is when a lot of millionaires are made. The people that don't quit. So I would just suggest, don't quit if you want to be a multimillionaire and then a billionaire by the time you're 30, 40, but don't quit.
Mrs. Flawless says, hello, I want to learn.
You got to put the thing up to your mouth.
Mrs. Flawless says she wants to learn.
Okay, well, yeah. If you're on TikTok, just go to my bio and tap the link there. Not now, when we're finished. And that's going to allow you to it's going to give you access to this playlist. You can do it here also. You can text the number VIP to the number. But that's going to basically tell you everything you need to know. It's going to give you a good start. Now, my YouTube channel has literally over 800 videos, over 900 if you include the YouTube shorts. So everything is there, like for real, for real. I know you don't believe it, but you'll see. All right, so Albert Franco, Mr. Flipman, how can I get people's information when driving for dollars? Can't seem to find who owns the property or the phone numbers. Ooh. All right, so if you text the word vacant, I don't think I have that card up here, VACANT, text the word vacant to the number. That video is going to show you how to, number one, determine who owns the property, and if you want to get their phone number, then you can obviously reach out to them. He asks also, would your contract work in Texas? And yes, and I hadn't even put that one up. I can't believe it. But yeah, so the contract does work in Texas. Anyone wants to access that contract that I've been using since 2003, been given away since 2008, text the word contract to the number 205-964-5243. Not only will you get access to that contract at free as much as you want, but also you can you'll get an instructional video on how to fill it out for sellers and buyers, along with how to get it signed virtually. All right.
Miss Flawless say, can she see the VIP sign again?
The VIP sign, yeah. There you go. It's 205-964-5243. People say, why do you use these cards? Because you can put the text on your screen on YouTube and Facebook. I do it for the gram. I do it for the top. Because they can't see the lower thirds, the graphics on YouTube and Facebook and all that stuff. Again, if you want to join us and ask a question, get pushed to the front of the line. You can text the word Gator, and you can join us on the live stream, and you can have your own personal one-on-one coaching session in front of everybody. One other thing, most people fail in this business because they don't ever figure out what a great deal is. This video here will help you a long way in understanding the process of what makes a great deal. If you can, again, I say this on a pretty much daily basis, if you can consistently find great real estate deals, you don't ever have to be broke if you can consistently do that, whether you have the money or don't. Because if you can find great real estate deals, people will gladly pay you a get lost fee. Move out of the way. Let me have this deal fee, aka an assignment fee to take your position. Someone post this question. I guess it's is the $100 MLS thing still available? Yep. Text MLS to the number and make it happen. Clark Sports out of I don't know why I'm thinking Atlanta. All right. So what we got here? What should I do to build or to start cold calling and being able to get most of the day? What program should I use? Boy, these folks, boy, they but y'all bad. So what's his name again? What you said his name was? Kelly right here.
I just ignore the X's and just say Great Gamer Chris.
It's XX Gamer, XX Chris. Mm-hmm. All right, text the word dollar. His question is, what should I do right now in order to start cold calling and being able to get deals today? What program should I use? Number one, you need the right tool to do the dialing. Now, your smartphone will still work, right? If you can't afford this particular tool, but this just puts it on steroids, make it easier to manage your leads. But you also need to be able to build lists, right, in order to call and or text message if you want. So you want to text the word list to this number. In this video, I show you how to build different lists to do just that. All right, so text the word list to the number, and that'll get you going on your cold calling. Right, so what we got here? All right, I know people who own property and often work with them and other businesses that my husband and I own. How do we present this wholesaling business to them? Let me make sure I'm reading that correctly. So all Al Latif family. Am I saying that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I know people who own property and often work with them with other businesses that my husband and I own. How do we present this wholesaling business to them? So I guess they're asking, they know people that own real estate and there may be some opportunities available whenever they want to sell. How do they present this wholesaling business to them? Well, just real quick, that you're not going to really present it to them. You're an investor. Wholesaling is the form of investing that you're quote unquote doing. You're a buyer first because the contract says that you are. I wouldn't try to get, not that you're trying to hide anything from them, but just like you're here trying to understand it, and you may have already spent hours trying to understand this, you try to explain this to someone in 5 minutes and they've never heard of it, normally they're not going to want to do business with you. So just to keep it clean and cut dry, just to keep it really clean and just simple, you buy houses or you buy real estate, and obviously if you go through enough of this information, you're going to be able to identify what's a great deal or not. And that's it. You know, you want to buy the property. You want to buy their property. You'll give them, the best offer you can. You'll close quickly on it. You buy as is. You pay all closing costs minus any unpaid taxes, mortgages, or liens. You normally close in 2 to 4 weeks. So, that's it. That normally answers most of their questions or whatever. They say, well, how long have you been doing this? I just started. You're my first customer. So you're my first transaction. So don't fear about the inexperience or whatever. So you got some money you're ready to spend, other people's money, that's fine. And they have a property you want to sell. Your thoughts, Kelly?
Yeah, what you just said is basically what you would say to any seller that's motivated. You let them know. I mean, if if they are not actively talking about selling their property, you just tell them, hey, I'm investing now. I've decided that I'm doing it. It's my time. I'm going to start investing. Let me know. I know you have a couple properties. Let me know if you ever looking to sell. I want to be the first call that you make. And you can run down the same lines that Ty just said, but that's how you basically tell friends and family is, hey, I'm buying property. Who has something to sell? Make me the first call that you make. If you're looking to sell your property, I can get it sold. And if I don't buy it, I can put you with someone that will definitely get it sold. Because that's what you are doing, right? If you don't buy it, you're gonna wholesale it to someone that will buy it. And so that's the conversation that you will have. Make it very conversational. Don't make it, don't like always, that's my thing, is don't make it a thing, you know. When we come to certain conversations that may feel, you know, different, especially when we're dealing with friends and family or people that we know, just don't make it a thing, because they're gonna if they're ready, when they're ready to sell their property, they're gonna sell it to someone that's that doesn't have any issues with telling them whatever they want to tell them. At least they know they can trust you, um, being a part of the transaction. So that's all I have.
All right, all right, all right. Um, let me see here. So, what would be recommended by? I don't want to buy a class to learn everything. Well, again, I like to promote that the information is free. You can sign up for the paid option, but in reality, man, it's all right here. He asked, you know, how can he buy a course or something like that, but in reality, it's at that particular link. Trust me, if you check that out, I think um, um, you'll be really good on that. So, all right. So Reader Webb said, I'm basically interested in wholesaling land. With that, I came across 2 lots and I comped using priced. Prop screen showed a different value from price. So would they still be a good deal? Have no idea. Both of them are going to give values, but you have to dive deeper into that. You know, it's just hard to just let without diving deeper into the actual comps in the area, if there are any. Just going on the value that's offered, you don't want to do that. You want to dive deeper into the numbers, Rita, regardless of which tool that you use. All right. Desiree Monique says, "What do I do after the seller says yes?" I mean, I guess meaning accepting a price that works for both of y'all.
Yeah, you write it. You write the contract, and then you start talking to your, you know, going to your buyers list or whoever you're using to disposition your, you know, whether it's sending it in through Deal Later, or you already have a buyer, but you begin to market the property, at the and add your wholesale fee to it. But when the seller says yes, you write up the offer and you get them to sign a contract, and then you begin to market their property.
Market the deal. Um, let me see what we got here. All right. Clark Sports says, should I get my license for me to be able to do it, or can I do it without? In Chicago, I can't do the wholesaling without having a license.
I was gonna mention that. So in Chicago, you have to be under a wholesaler's license, which is under a broker, and that holds their real estate license. So you would need to connect with that person or connect with someone that's connected with that person. Meaning that if you know someone that does have their wholesaler license, or that's already doing deals in Chicago, you can do a marketing agreement with that person, and basically you can do the deals that way, and they will basically pay you a marketing fee, for the deals, instead of a wholesale fee. Okay. But yes, you can still do deals in Chicago. You just have to structure it. Everything with laws is it just makes it illegal to do things a certain way, but it doesn't make it necessarily illegal to do certain things, because it's not illegal to, you know, wholesale property. You just have to have it structured correctly, which means that you need to have it. You need to, the deal will have to be signed off by a broker in the state of Illinois. And so I would say you need to get with a broker or someone who is already with a broker in the state of Illinois.
If I were an agent in the state of Illinois, I would be holding Saturday classes, right? One, come all wholesalers, and you all can all use my license. Get
I
out
was
there
just thinking,
and
what
get
is it
out
the
there and
cost to
get
do
it.
a reciprocal license in the state of, I was like, maybe I can go ahead and get licensed in Illinois.
Yeah, I'm saying y'all can run it. Y'all can run it all through me.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna try. I don't even want half the deal. 25%. That's too much.
No, yeah, you might want to go like 10.
You crazy. He said 10%. No, I ain't doing it for 10. What you think, Kelly?
Well, I mean, it depends on what your involvement in the deal is. You know, if
they use my license.
That's what I was saying. You gonna charge?
So if you're just using their license, if you're just using your license, some people, I would just create a flat fee structure, where they pay you a set amount of money each month.
No, I'm gonna leave too much money.
I know you're gonna want to.
Well, let me put it like that. It would have to be probably both of them. We might have a minor fee monthly, but I got to get part of the deal because that's where the money is.
That is where the money is. It just depends on what your goal would be. If your goal is to get a large amount of wholesalers that are doing life deals, it'll be very difficult to look through every deal unless you have a staff, right?
You gotta have a staff. You gotta be set up for it.
But you could do a 60-40 split, and then after so many deals they do, it kind of structure like a brokerage is. After so many, they can cap out and do a flat fee, or they can do a 60-40. You can do whatever, a 30, a 70-30, a 80-20, 90-10. Doesn't really matter. You can structure however you want to.
See, so what people have to see, they created a problem if you're trying to get into wholesaling in the state of Illinois, right? Kansas and Oklahoma also. Normally, whenever a problem, I said this yesterday, whenever a problem is created, guess what happens, Kelly? There is a solution. There is a solution. Yes. And you know what? When people come up with solutions to problems, they normally get flat out rich.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially when you're one of the first one where everybody else running away, you create the solution to the problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Period. That's just the way it works. Because normally, when the government makes up laws and stuff, they're not really experts in the industry. So they're going to always normally leave stuff out that they think they put a hole in it, but they didn't put any caulk around it. So water's still seeping in. You know what I'm saying? It's still opportunity. The water, the seep is the opportunity or whatever, legally or whatever. Anyway, so, but just to answer his question or whatever. So Pisces illustrations, investors are the same as wholesalers. I say yes, but Kelly may have something.
I mean, yes, because investors use wholesaling as an exit strategy. So when you're looking at investing, buy and hold, flipping, fix and flip, wholesaling, those are all considered, in my opinion, exit strategies. Yes. And if you only focus on wholesaling, then you are considered a wholesaler who is an investor that only wholesales.
All right. Hey, Flip Man, can you do a video on owner finance and rent your own situation? All right. I do actually have a video on owner financing. I probably talked about the rent your own because I went into different forms of owner financing. If you do Flip Man owner financing, you should see a video or two on that over the years. All right, quick question. What are the options after your numbers and come out with the negative number? Okay, this is a good one. King Royal says, hey, Ty, how's it going? Quick question. What are the options after you do the numbers and come out with a negative number as buying an amount? Great question, my man. Those are the easiest ones to say. La La Land, 3 L's, La La Land. So that means it's overpriced. If your numbers are, you're confident on your numbers, it's overpriced. Ain't nothing you can do about that. You're going to run into you're going to run into more of those situations than deals. So that's why it's important to talk to a lot of sellers. As far as we're talking about wholesaling, sometimes a negative situation still can be leveraged into an opportunity, but for just clear wholesaling, yeah, the number's negative. There's nothing to even think about. The numbers don't work or whatever. So to answer your question, what do you think?
Yeah, so we get those a lot. So you looked at the ARV, you've determined what the ARV, you looked at your repairs, you determine what the estimate of repairs, and you factor in what you want to wholesale it for, and you come up with a negative number. It happens all the time. There's a couple of things that means that area is probably going to be. It's usually B areas, right, where where the land value and what's around it. The ARVs just don't support it. It depends on how motivated the seller is. There are people that will pay you or just sign it over to you for $1, give you the property. For a property, now you still have to pay property taxes on it and all of that. Great. Well, I don't know if that's great, but everything like that. But at that point, you just have a discussion of how much money do you want to save a year. I can save you from taxes, because at this point, the property is not worth, is almost worthless. You don't want to say that to the person, but there's no value add right now in the property. I'm willing to continue to pay taxes on your property for you if you just sign over the rights to the property. And then that's the conversation that I would have with the seller.
One time, I looked at I met a guy. I don't know why we had to meet face to face, because we didn't go meet at the house. We had met somewhere else or something. But anyway, he was telling me about his house and what part of town in. I said, it's hard for me to do deals. I've never been able to do a deal over there. And I said, it's tough to move some real estate over there. He said, well, I live right next door to the house. Record scratch.
That's the as a licensed real estate professional, like those are the conversations that honestly I had to learn the most about how to communicate, because you never know.
I live next door to it.
and that could easily be a violation. Like they could send you to the board for something like that as a license.
Well, I ain't a realtor. So. All right. So Nashawn said, I never had any luck as a wholesaler. I instead, I guess he meant, became a cash buyer myself. And now I own real estate, the cash flow forever. I don't have to worry about inflation. Nashawn, great.
It's amazing. Let's be a part of the cash buyer list.
Yeah, great. The problem with that equation is everybody ain't got cash. So what is the solution for them to start to get cash, right? To be able to do that. Now, this ain't the only way to make some money, but wholesaling has leveraged, I can't even imagine how many people into millionaires.
ROI.
Because it has allowed them to leverage that cash that they did build from wholesaling to whatever else they want to do. And a lot of times not even real estate related or whatever. May want to open a restaurant, buy a studio, or I don't know, whatever, start buying cars, whatever. So good for you. I hope you were saying that in the sense that there's another option, but you have to understand, to do what you're doing, talking about rentals, you have to have money, right? In most cases. Now you could do some owner financing and stuff, and you could actually build a rental portfolio through owner financing and start out with basically $0, but it's still going to take the grind of finding great deals and people willing to owner finance the properties. Obviously the numbers are going to have to work. The condition of the property is going to factor in, because if you find a property someone to owner finance with you and it's tore up and you don't have any money, you're basically still at square one, unless you can still owner finance that deal out. That'll fall. So you got to make sure it's there. You can owner finance that deal out too, but you still owner finance that deal out to someone, or rent to own to that situation, even if it did need a lot of repairs. So the opportunities do exist, but from your statement, you said instead I became a cash buyer. That's a powerful statement. Cash buyer, that means you had some money. I take most of my training here is from the standpoint of people that don't have money and credit, right? So how are they going to get the money on credit, right? So wholesaling is a vehicle that will allow you to do that. Yeah, a lot of people want to get into buying rentals and rent them out and stuff, but that takes resources, especially when you use the term cash buyer. Now, if you would have said, I tried wholesaling, but instead I just start to target more properties that I can get into owner finance situations. Okay, now you can appeal to more people, but when you say I became a cash buyer, like that ain't that wipes out a lot of people. A lot of people. Your thoughts, Kelly, before we get into the topic here.
Yeah, I mean, wholesaling is not for everyone. Honestly, it's not. It's not something that is desirable of everyone. It takes time, and I'm not sure what if you still work another job, or what your other source of income was before you started investing in real estate, but wholesaling as an exit strategy is just not for everyone. And that's okay. That's why there's literally, I mean, when I first started, like there was so many different ways to get involved in real estate, and wholesaling was just the one that, like Ty said, requires no money, no credit, and just your time and your efforts and your network. And so if you have money and you don't have a lot of time, then that's awesome that you got started and now you have a cash flow coming in forever. Now I say don't leverage it through the banks because the interest rates are high. But now I would say leverage it through other ways so that you can pull out more cash and go buy more property and keep that train moving.
All right, boom. So we're going to get into the topic today. Where is it? Let me go back to this one. Where was he? All right, we're going to get into today's topic. Is that being sexist?
I didn't read it. What did it say? Oh gosh. Too late now.
Hey, she said I didn't say it. She said it. Anyway.
No, it's probably being a little bit smart if
you wow. So the topic today, you deposited $27,000 into your bank account from wholesaling a house, and now the bank is suspicious. What should you do? Okay. Banks have a lot of regulations that they have to follow, and they have a lot of triggers that involve them asking questions, and you having to answer them. Now, you'll have a paper trail on something like that where you can prove where the money came from. Now, the thumbnail is just to strike attention or whatever, because normally you're not going to. Well, you could have did this, though, Kelly. You could have cashed it at another bank and actually bought the cash to your bank. I wouldn't suggest doing that, but you could have did that. They'd have been moaning and groaning at the other bank for that type of money, but they almost have to do it. Now, they may not do it that day. They might have $27,000 on hand that they can just let you have, and but definitely by the next day in most cases. Would you agree on that? I'm that's not where I'm going, but I'm just saying just to answer the question. They have to cash the check if it's written off their bank or whatever. Am I right on that?
Yeah, they have to cash the check, but they don't have to what was it? Someone, and especially when I was dealing with in the car business that required me to have cash to go buy cars a lot because I would literally go buy cash from people.
Yeah.
You to remove that amount of money. Sometimes they'll tell you we just don't have it right now. You'll have to go to have to wait, or we have to go to our other branch.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you don't make you jump to. You might not be able to get it that day, and $27,000 is not a lot of money in the scheme of things for a bank, but it is a lot of money for the scheme of things, like a lot for a banbank. Especially if you just show up right and doing it. You know what I'm saying? So now if they're used to you doing that, then they're gonna probably have a conversation with you. Could you give us a day or two notice? When you do this, we don't have any problem doing it. Blah blah blah. Okay, but. I was using this as for someone starting out in LLC. You still just have a personal bank account. You hadn't started a business in it, so you don't have a bank account with a business bank account set up for you. So So now the bank is going to, it's going to know them, because once it's over a $10,000 threshold, they're obligated to get you started filling out the form, whether you have a business account or not. You feeling, you know what I'm saying? And what is this for? Blah, blah, blah. Some of them are a little more tighter than others. But the main thing is that, and where I was going with it was, you just need to set up your business entity the correct way, so you can not be questioned as much, because hopefully it'll be a regular thing for you to you won't show up with cash. That's more of a joke. But even if it's a cashier's check or a check written off the account of the attorney or the title company, depending on your bank, a lot of times they'll still hold that 7 to 10 days or whatever. So it's suggested that you do a bank wire. Just give the title company or closing attorney your wiring instructions for your bank, and that just makes the transaction a lot smoother to get your money. Now, again, if you got a new account, they still might trip a little bit and just want to know more about it. But normally, whenever you're setting up the bank account, they're going to ask you, what is it for, right? Said real estate, you're going to be doing transactions. They're going to ask you what, not normal, because they're trying to sell you something. What amount of money you think you're going to be able to generate each month or each year annually. And normally it'll just fall in line on that, and it won't be that big of a deal. But if it's just still in your personal name as far as everything, then yeah, they're going to ask more questions there. But again, you got a paper trail, so it's not like you're doing anything illegal. It's just that whereas you're doing a $27 transaction or $270 transaction, they just and run it through the thing and give you a receipt. No, they start having to call people and get the manager over and all this stuff or whatever. Some of it because they want to start possibly sending you in a different direction as far as them being able to provide services for you also. So, but at the end of the day, that's one of them good problems. You ain't did nothing illegal. Where you got the money from, that's one of those good problems figured out. But the main thing is just setting up that business entity. Text the word B is there. We get you going on that. So your thoughts, Kelly?
Yeah, setting it up. Like you say, you have the resources if you feel like it's too much for yourself. But yeah, you can go in, set up your LLC. In most states, I'm just gonna go in general. Most states, it's not gonna cost more than $300. If you go directly to the courthouse. But if you need help, like God has services that help you set it up, get your EIN number. And then once you have those things, and you're going to want to, you also got to have your mailing address and things like that. I would suggest you get a virtual mailbox. But once you have all those things, then you can go and set up a business bank account. And that honestly changes the game. Once you start doing deals, do you need to do this before you start doing your first deal, or need to be thinking about this? No, unless you've already had businesses before and you have LLCs, or I would actually suggest probably an S corp. But don't worry about it. If you've never done it before, don't worry about it. Worry about your first deal. After you do your first deal, then you start thinking about all of these things, and you can text that number and get help. But the biggest part is the game changer happens when you do have a bank account. Because they actually don't look at you. I mean, they still kind of look at you. They don't want to. Most banks don't want to deal with cash because they're already using your cash to put in other investments. So they really don't want you to take out their cash, the cash. But yeah, that once you have that business bank account, you will see some things, and transferring of larger funds gets a little bit I don't want to say easier, but there's not as much questions asked because you're a business operating, and that's standard.
Boom. All right, guys. So we got it in. One more again without the crew. So Kelly, I got your social media handle up there.
Yes.
Tell them how you can reach
you. Yes. This is my Instagram. So Kel's always on Instagram. It's 2 L's AWAYS. Or Kelly Me on YouTube. Again, I am going to be helping people, especially if they want to get into selling land development, selling new construction, working with other realtors and brokers. If you are a realtor and broker, help you get builder clients. But yeah, follow me for some tips on development, real estate development.
Okay, boom. All right. So guys, we really appreciate everyone that has joined us today. If we didn't answer your question, post it in the comment section of any of my YouTube videos, and I answer those on a daily basis. We appreciate Kelly joining us again on today's live stream. So we'll be on tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, 8:05-ish p.m. Eastern. Thursday, I know it says 7:05, but then Monday through Wednesday, 3:45-ish Eastern. Check local listings. Make sure you subscribe, share, and like this, and follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. All right, so if nothing else, we'll see you guys on the FLIP SIDE.
Flip man, it's the flip man. You want some money in your hand? Flipping houses without credit or your